All right, welcome to Mirage Gospel TV talk show.
Okay.
Can we meet you now, please?
Okay, I'm Miss Angela Okora.
Okay, Miss Angela, you're welcome.
Thank you.
We want to know what ladies do to keep their home in peace. As a married woman, what are those things we should do or you should do as a married woman to keep your home? Thank you.
Okay, first of all, it's understanding your partner. And I feel for every marriage there should be some secrecy. Everything should not be let out to the world. And to me, I feel third party is a major problem in marriages. Some people go as far as involving others into their home, and it causes so much dispute without even knowing it. Sometimes they feel it's for peaceful approaches, but at the end of the day, they cause more harm than good in their home. And secondly, before getting married to someone, I think you guys should have attained some level of understanding.
Okay, that's right.
There's no perfect person. You know your faults, he should know yours, and you should know his too. So at those points where it's shaky and everything, because there are rough times like that, I think for those points you should just try and endure a little. Then when it's sweet and rosy and everything, then it should be well understood between the both of you, because there's no perfect marriage. Forget everything we see outside. We still have our bass bows.
Okay.
But as far as there's love and there's harmony and there's joy, it just keeps you going. And especially God, I think God is a major key to a peaceful marriage, because he has been everything.
Okay.
Even when there are ups and downs, sometimes you just have to cry to him and say, God help me, and he does that, and you see yourself very happy. I think that's just it.
I think I love your sincerity and your openness. You know that side of bass bows. You know that is a reality. You know, it's a reality. But there are some persons that have this notion that there's a perfect home. I don't think you. I think what's your view? Do you think there's actually a perfect home, a home void of?
No perfect home. Anybody that gives you the notion that there's a perfect home, that person is a pretender. That person is either dying or deceiving himself.
Okay.
Yes, there are so many people like that. We deceive ourselves, or we pretend to be who we are not. There are some persons who are married, but the partners, their partners have not actually seen the real them. Like they're pretending to be who they are not. You see their real self when they are with their friends.
Okay.
But when they are with their partner, they are someone else. You see them timid, naive. But when they are with their friends, they are loud, they are joyful, they are, they're doing every jaye. But when you're sincere with your partner, there are some times that come up and you guys have one or two misunderstandings. But the truth about it is, the ability to go through this misunderstanding and still come out loving each other makes you perfect.
Okay.
But when you just say, I'm perfect, I don't want any mistakes, and I don't want, then you're killing yourself.
Okay.
At the long run, maybe at old age, you see them, that's when they talk about divorce. When you see marriages of 16 years, 18 years, 19 years, 50 years, and they're getting divorced. How did they stay with each other for the 16 years, 20 years? Because they've been pretending to each other. But when you start on time and from the beginning, this guy knows that if I do this to my lady, this is her reaction.
Okay.
And you know that if I do this to my man, this is his reaction. By then you guys have understood each other.
Okay.
The flaws start from the beginning, and there you learn yourself, you understand yourself, you try and blend in with your faults, because there's no perfect person.
Okay.
As time goes on, you learn to live with each other.
Okay, now I think I understand what you're saying clearly, but I want to ask, there's a place of friendship before marriage.
Okay.
That's where dating and all that comes into play. Now you're talking about, from what you're saying, it boils down to being friends while in marriage.
Okay.
So if you're friends while in marriage, you tend to understand your partner properly, and then you tend to come out of misunderstandings properly, if I get you rightly. Now, don't you think if you do this before marriage, these issues of having problems and misunderstanding in marriage will be avoided? Like if you tend to be a friend to your partner for some period of time before you get into marriage, there's every possibility that you have already known this person.
Can I ask you a question?
Okay, you can go.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I do have
And
siblings.
you grew up with them?
Yes, I do.
Do you guys have misunderstandings?
Definitely we do, but
That means no matter how close you are to a friend, there is always bound to be misunderstanding. If you can actually be with your siblings and you still have some little misunderstanding as time goes on, it shows that no matter how perfect a couple are, inside there will be. That's why it's not right to actually compare your home with someone else's, because you don't know what they are hiding. You don't know what's going on inside that room, and they come out and they put on the makeup and everything and they are looking all flashy. Meanwhile, inside you might be better off.
Exactly. All right. So I think I get you clearly. So what you are trying to say that despite the friendship before marriage,
Yes.
so friendship inside of marriage is also necessary,
Exactly.
and misunderstanding in marriage cannot be avoided, even though you have been friends before you got married.
Yes.
So that's your point.
Yes, it's bound to happen, but with time, you get through it, and you guys just understand yourself. Understanding tends to take it all off. Even when okay, let's say you're not at a point, he offends you, you don't react. You just because you're used to it, or will I say you've passed that particular phase of life. And when she offends you, sometimes you'll be like, "This is my wife." And you see yourself blending, and nobody has to come in or help you sort it out. But when every little fault is taken note of, your wife drops a pen on the floor. Oh, my wife has dropped a pen on the floor. My husband, how long do you want to go through with that? So as time goes on, you guys tend to understand each other and everything is sorted out.
All right, thank you very much. So, in this at this point, what is exactly the place of a woman in our home? Like, what's her position in keeping her home? You know, sometimes misunderstanding comes up, and then a lady will be waiting for the man to come and apologize, stuff like that. You know, just talk about the place of a woman.
Let's leave Nigerian movies aside. In reality, we only have few men that are willing to say I'm sorry, even when they are wrong. In the movies, let's be sincere, our men goes on their knees and they are begging you, please forgive me, I've offended you. They give you roses, they give you chocolates. In the real life, we only have little of such men. Most men have what they call ego.
Yes.
They find it very difficult to say I'm sorry. Maybe they might not directly tell you the I'm sorry word, but they can use, maybe you've not been talking and the man just comes to you and say something like, how are you? He has told you sorry. He doesn't need to say the word I'm sorry. That's just them. That's just their life as men.
So what should a woman do at that point?
A woman at that point, I call that point the getting point, because that is when you also play along. Then maybe when you've settled the whole issue, then you will now tell him that you also have some little faults that you have gone through, that you want to explain or express to yourself. But if he comes that way and you want to tell him that, oh, you've not said sorry, you've not told me I am sorry, then you are ready to continue the quarrel forever, because he's not willing to say that word.
Sorry,
Some men are like that, not all. But some men are willing to say I'm sorry and it goes away, but not all men. So you have to understand your man and understand, that's where the word love language comes in. You have to understand your man's love language. Some men are money givers. Some men, when they notice they've offended you, that's when they remember that you've not bought a new shoe, you've not bought a new bag, you've not done your hair. Do you understand? That's his own way of saying sorry. Some men may just want to help you run 1 or 2 errands. That's their own way of saying sorry. Some men will start reminding you of things you don't know, or things you've forgotten. They are just looking for the best way to express themselves. But their pride and ego does not want them to say the word sorry.
All right. I think if I should allow you, you will go on and on. It's like a relationship coach. I think I'm loving it. Can you just advise the ladies out there on what to do to maintain their family, to maintain their home, to keep their husbands in love with them? Just an advice. Thank you.
For me, I would say just be yourself. Be yourself, the best of yourself. Let this man know that this is me. I mean, he married you, so he must have seen some good part of you before getting married to you. And if there's any way you feel you can improve yourself, then you do that. You pray to your God and leave the rest to him. Because I see marriages that the couples are all rosy and at the end of the day they still get divorced. So what's the problem? So I feel the best thing is just be yourself, pray to your God, and in any way you feel you can improve yourself, you do that. That's just it.
All right, thank you very much. It's a privilege to have you here. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much. God bless you.